Well, this is a special night tonight here for the Windsor Spitfires as we get set to honor the voice of the Spitfires. 40 years of community service, 40 years of coverage by Steve Bell with the Windsor Spitfires. Steve, listen, it's been a pleasure for me to get to know you, and I'm sure we can celebrate your career that's still going, by the way.
Yeah, let's hope so.
In more than one night. But what does it mean to you to be the host, so to speak, to be the center of attention for this appreciation night?
It's obviously, it's humbling, and right off the bat, I have to thank the ownership group of the Spitfires, Brian Schwab, Stephen Savage, John Savage. There's 20 teams in the OHL. The ownership, and it all starts, any good business, with the ownership. And the ownership of the Windsor Spitfires is second to none. And, they've had my back since day one in any situation. This kind of started a little bit last year. Shannon Ricker, involved with the team, kept saying, "How many games have you done, Beller? 1,500, 2,000?" And there was a couple of interruptions along the way during my career over 41 and a half years at the radio station. And I've really never gone back to keep track. But there were a lot of games that I've done. My first being back in 1986 and starting at the radio station in 1980. But again, to be here on a night like this, and to have a guy like you, Manny, be able to, if I end up in the crowd or saying hi to a few friends, more than competent and more than capable to do some play-by-play for me.
Well, it's been quite a ride. I think Spitfires fans, when they listen to Steve Bell or hear about Steve Bell, first thing they think about is the Windsor Spitfires. When you're Steve Bell and somebody says Windsor Spitfires, what do you first think about?
Well, I just think, I fell in love. The first junior game I ever went to was a couple of years ago. It was in London. It was a Sunday night game. I was in Kincardine playing Pee Wee Minor at the time, and we played exhibition that afternoon. Pat Riggin, by the way, was the opposing goaltender. We got clobbered.
Good old Kincardine.
Yeah. We got clobbered in London. But that night, on a Sunday night, we went to the game at the Gardens, the old Gardens. It was a Peterborough Pizza on a Sunday night. Oh, by the way, this is a little while ago, folks. The captain of the London Knights was Daryl Stittler. In junior, I kid you not. So I go way back, and I was kind of hooked then. I briefly worked in Sudbury. When I came here in 1980, Dave Quinn did the play-by-play. He was bigger than life, a character, a huge voice, and I was lucky and fortunate to kind of follow in his footsteps and just kind of pick his brain and learn a little bit along the way. And in 86, 87, when Dave moved on to Toronto, the door opened, and it was there. And I'll tell you what, we're the luckiest people in the world, I think, to come to hockey games, junior hockey games, Spitfire hockey games, and make a living doing this. I've never worked a day in my life.
And you've been synonymous with the Spitfires ever since. If somebody asks you, what are your favorite memories with the Spitfires, what stands out for you?
Oh, man, they're just all, I think the players that come along, throughout the years, and people always ask, who to put together an all-time Spitfire team? Well, where do you start? Bill Bowler, the current general manager, definitely is there. Guys like Adam Graves, who was a captain of the Spitfires my first full-time year doing play-by-play on my own back in 1987. So many, my first year living here in Windsor, going to the Spitfire games, Ernie Godden, tapped in 87. You tell the kids now, what do you mean 87 assists? No, he had 87 goals that year. So it just, to be around the guys, around the hockey team. I played. I was horrible. I was awful. And but to really have a career broadcasting the games and being around guys that move on to the NHL or whatever they end up doing in life and still being associated with them, it's really kind of a dream come true.
Yeah, the players certainly make that too. I echo your sentiments. And you're not done yet. You're going to go for another 40 years.
I'm not sure about 40. I turned 65 2 weeks ago, so that puts me at 100 and I don't know about that. And there's some guys, Donnie Cameron, God bless him, who was well into his 80s doing the games. The day that I don't enjoy it, and the day that I'm not really having fun, or the day that I suck. Some people may say that now, but hey, Beller, you're way behind the play, man. That's the day that I either feel that I'm losing a step, I will step aside, and Manny, the job's all yours, but just not quite yet.
Listen, that's not going to happen for a very long time. I'm looking forward to hanging with you, Beller, in the broadcast booth for many more years. Congratulations on your special night tonight. It's very well deserved.
Well, thanks. And I have to thank the ownership group here and obviously my wife Lori and my entire family because they've kind of got all your back when you're gone on the road somewhere. So it's great to have that support at home.
When you want to know about the Spitfires, follow this guy, Steve Bell, or you can follow the Spitfires on social media as well, and even call in the games on AM 800.